Welcome back, dear student. Okay, now this is our lecture 4 and probably the last lecture of this chapter, the same chapter, that is the cell fundamental unit of life. Okay, so this will be our last video of this chapter. And okay, so now start with this chapter, start with this video, this thing. Okay, uh, first we will revise our previous, whatever we have learned earlier. The a typical cell has three main parts. Okay, this already we have done in our previous lectures, previous videos. A typical cell has three main parts. That is the cell membrane, cytoplasm and the nucleus. The outermost boundary is the cell membrane, covering outermost boundary, cell membrane. Cytoplasm is a matrix, jelly-like fluid viscous matrix is a cytoplasm, and most important, the brain of the cell, whatever activities is going on, who is deciding what to do, what not to do, that is the nucleus, big boss of the cell. Okay, so and the next thing is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is that part of the protoplasm that lies between the cell membrane and the nuclear membrane. This already we have done in our previous lecture. The part of the protoplasm that lies between the cell membrane and the nuclear membrane, and the fluid part of the cytoplasm is called matrix, which is composed of the various organic and the inorganic matter dissolved in water. Okay, now this cytoplasm has some membrane bound living particles and also some non-living particles scattered in the matrix of the cytoplasm. Now at this point, this we have not done. Cell cytoplasm has two main things. That is, first of all, that is the cell organelle and the cell inclusion. So cell organelle is a living particle, membrane bound living particles, and cell inclusions are the non-living one. Okay, so cytoplasm has two main important thing. The matrix of the cytoplasm has two main important thing: the living part and the non-living part. The living, that is a membrane bound living particles, are called as a cell organelles, and the non-living particles that remain scattered in the matrix of the cytoplasm is called as a cell inclusions. Now various cell organelles are present. This we have done already in the previous lecture. Various cell organelles are present, that is the living particle, membrane bound living particles in the cytoplasm. And various cell organelles are the endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, ribosomes, Golgi bodies or Golgi complex you may call it, or Golgi bodies. It is actually discovered by the scientist Camillo Golgi. Okay, so and lysosomes, centrosomes and the plastids, and various non-living particles that remain scattered in the matrix are called as a cell inclusions. This include vacuole and the granules. Okay, now next slide. Again, see this one. Cell organelle. Various cell organelles are endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, Golgi complex, ribosomes, lysosomes, plastids. See this, all the cell organelles and the cell inclusion you can see in the diagram also. Okay, one picture is also given in this slide. This you can see. All the cell organelles are shown in this picture, and how they are arranged, this also you can see from this picture. And cell inclusions, vacuole, a big vacuole, that hollow type white vacuole is there, and granules are there. But remember one thing, class 6 student, that all the cell organelles and inclusions are not in your course. It is not given in your syllabus. So only plastids and vacuole we have to study. Okay, rest of the cell organelle and the inclusion you will study when you will go in class 9. Okay, so in class 6 only thing that you have to study is the plastid and the vacuole, which we are going to study in this video. Okay, so cell membrane we have to study, which we have done in detail in the previous videos. Cytoplasm we have to study. This also we have done little bit. We have done in this video also. And nucleus in detail, which we have done in very detail in the previous video. And cell organelle and cell inclusion. Not all cell organelle inclusion is not in your syllabus. Only plastids and vacuoles in your syllabus. So in this video we are going to do the plastid and vacuole. So let's start with the plastids. Plastids are double membrane bound organelles found only in plant cell. Remember this as a very important point, that these are the double membrane bound organelle. One more double membrane bound organelle you have studied. Tell which one? Nucleus. Yes, nucleus you have studied in the previous one. The nucleus was also a double membrane bound organ. Uh, okay. And plastid is also a double membrane bound organelle, but it is found only and only in the plant cell. It is absent in the animal cell. So this will be our point to differentiate between the plant cell and the animal cell. That plastids are found only in animals, plant cells, and absent in the animal cells. Okay, so plastids are found in all plant cells, and they are easily observed under the microscope as they are very large. Okay, you can see it in the microscope, the compound microscope, but they bear some specific pigments. Okay, they have some specific pigments which impart specific color to the plants, and based on this type of pigments, plastids are classified. Okay, first of all, what is plastid? Plastid is a cell organelle which is found only in the plant cell. First thing. Second thing, it is a double membrane bound organelle. Okay, third thing, it contains various kinds of pigment, various types of pigment present in the plastid. And depending upon that pigment, plastids are classified into three types based depending upon the color and the function also, and the pigment, they are classified into three types. Okay, now what are those three types? Chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. Chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast. Now next one, chloroplast. What is a chloroplast? Chloroplast are, they are green in color. You can see in the picture in the diagram also. Chloroplast, they are green in color. Why they are green in color? Because of the pigment chlorophyll. And because of this organelle, because of this pigment chlorophyll, plant have a green color. Leaves have the green color. This we have done in the first chapter also, in the plant life chapter. I have asked you several times, what is that pigment which impart green color to the plant's leaf? That is the chlorophyll. Now where this chlorophyll pigment is present? This chlorophyll pigment is present inside the chloroplast. What is a chloroplast? Chloroplast is a type of plastid. What is a plastid? Plastid is a cell organelle which is found only in the plant cell. Okay. Now what is the function of the chloroplast? They give green color to the leaves and help in the process of photosynthesis. Very most important function, that is the uh, photosynthesis. Okay, so chloroplasts contain chlorophyll which are responsible for trapping light energy which is essential for photosynthesis. Okay, so see, this diagram also you can see. That is double membrane, outer membrane, inner membrane. One space is there, that is an intermembrane space. Then various that sac-like structures which is called as granum. Okay, stack of thylakoids, it is present, and these grana or the granum are interconnected with each other, which is called as a lamellae. Okay. Okay. Now, next one is the chromoplast. Next type of plastid, next category of the plastid, that is the chromoplast. Chromoplast, these are colored, these are colored plastids. Okay. they have pigments of different colors like orange, red, and yellow. Okay, the chromoplast, they are the colored ones. This gives the part of the plant a yellow, orange, or red color. Okay, so chromoplast contains the pigment which is also called as a carotenoid pigment. Chloroplast containing the pigment known as chlorophyll. Chromoplast containing the pigment called as carotenoids, which imparts red, yellow, or orange color. And where these colors are imparted? These colors are imparted to the flowers and the fruits. Okay, so whatever the color of the flower and the color of the fruit is there is because of the chromoplast. Chromo basically means the color. Chromo means color. Okay, chromosomes we have already done in the previous when we were doing the nucleus. That time also I told you that chromo is a Latin word and which means color. Okay, so these are the colored plasters. They have pigments of different colors like orange, red, and yellow, and they give color to flowers and fruits. Okay, now last one, that is the leucoplast. They are colorless plastids. They don't have any color. They don't have any pigment inside it, but they store starch, protein, and uh, oils. Okay, the leucoplasts are the colorless plastids of varied shapes and sizes with stored nutrient in it. See, this table is shown in your this slide also. All three plastids are given. You can compare all the three types of plastid, that is chloro, chromo, and leucoplast. Chloroplast, this is just a type of revision. It contains the chlorophyll, that is a green pigment which absorbs the light energy, sunlight, and helps in the process of photosynthesis. Now, what does it do? It produces and also stores the glucose inside it. Chromoplast, it contains the pigment carotenoids, which impart red, orange, or yellow color, and this carotenoid pigments have the red, orange, and yellow pigments, and it is found in the flowers and fruits. It imparts color to the flowers and fruit. This is the function of chromoplast. Leucoplast, it contains no pigment. It is white in color, and it used to store starch. The most important function of the leucoplast is that is used to store starch. Okay, see one again the same thing. By seeing this diagram also you will be able to differentiate between the chloro, leuco, and the chromoplast. Okay, so plastid is of three types: leucoplast, chloroplast, and the chromoplast. Chloroplast is that green color, giving green color to the leaf. Chromoplast is giving color to the flower. That see brinjal, flower, carrots. The color of the brinjal, color of the carrot, and this flower, red color flower, is all because of the chromoplast, because of the pigment that is stored in the chromoplast. And leucoplast is, it stores the starch and it is present inside the potato. Okay, the potato, the starch that is the potato that we eat is basically the leucoplast is storing the starch inside it. That is why it is white in color, or you may say that it is colorless. Okay, so now we will proceed towards the vacuole. Vacuole is also a, now vacuole is a cell inclusion, that is a non-living part of the cytoplasmic matrix. Vacuole is a membrane bound space that is found in the cytoplasm. It contains water, sap, excretory product, and other materials which are not useful for the cell. The vacuole is bound by a single membrane which is called as a tonoplast. In plants, see, the small picture is also given. Vacuoles are the clear spaces that is found in the cytoplasm. Okay, the cavities in the vacuoles are filled by a fluid which is called as a cell sap. Okay, remember this term, cell sap. It is very important term. Okay, cell sap. So what is a cell sap? The cavity, the fluid that is present inside the vacuole is called as cell sap. The fluid that is present inside the vacuole is called as cell sap. The fluid present inside the cell, cytoplasm. Fluid present inside the nucleus, nucleoplasm. Fluid present inside the vacuole, cell sap. Okay, and the outermost covering of the vacuole is called as a tonoplast. This is also a very important term and usually comes in your exams also. Okay, outermost covering of the vacuole is the tonoplast. Outermost covering of the cell, plasma membrane. Outermost covering of the nucleus, nuclear membrane. And outermost covering of the vacuole is the tonoplast. Okay, remember this term. It is very important. That is the tonoplast. Okay. Now, you must know that in plant cells, first you see the picture. See the picture. Are you finding any difference between the plant cell and the animal cell? Yes, a very clear difference is this vacuole. See, in plant cell, a big, large vacuole is present in the center. Okay, and in animals, can you see that vacuole with your this thing eyes? It's a very microscopic or a very small vacuole. So this is one of the difference between the plant and the animal cell. Again, second difference between the plant and the animal cell. I think this is the third difference. One difference was the presence of cell wall. Plant cell have cell wall, animal cell don't have the cell wall. Plant cell have plastid, animal cell don't have the plastid. Now vacuole, plant cell have a big vacuole and animal cell, the vacuole is very small. Okay, in plant cells, the vacuole can occupy up to 90% of the volume of the cell. Okay, in plants, the tonoplast facilitates the transport of number of the ions and other materials into the vacuole. Okay, so this is the difference between the vacuole of the plant and animal cell. In plant cell, vacuole is very large and occupies almost 90% of the cell, and in animal cell, the vacuole is very small. It is absent, and if present, it is very small and inconspicuous. Okay. So again, some portion left for the vacuole. Plant cells have a large vacuole, animal cells vacuole are absent, and if present they are small and inconspicuous, very small. And now what is the function of the vacuole? The most important function of the vacuole is that it provides turgidity to the parts where it is present. Turgidity means it provides the stiffness to the part wherever it is present. Okay, so that is why it is plant needs that stiffness to uphold, to stand erect. That is why the vacuoles are occupying the major portion of the cell in the plant cell. Okay, because providing them with the turgidity. Okay, that stiffness to the plant. Okay, now I think at this point you will tell me that what is the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. This is just a revision for you without looking in the slide. This is just a test for you. Can you please tell me what is the difference between plant cell and animal cell? First difference, plant cell have cell wall, animal cell don't have cell wall. Plant cell contain chloroplast, animal cell don't have chloroplast. Vacuole is large and present in center of the cell. Vacuoles are very small. And one more difference was there. Nucleus is present in the side of the plant cell because of the vacuole. When we were doing nucleus in the previous slide in lecture 3, I have told you that the position, that location of the nucleus. Okay, in plant cell, the nucleus is shifted towards the one side. Why? Because of the presence of large vacuole. And in animal cell, the nucleus is present in the center because vacuoles are very small. So this is also one of the difference between the plant and animals. So this is, you can revise and you can see in the slide also the difference between the plant and animal cell is given over here. You have to learn it also because this is one of the most important question that is asked in the exams. Okay, so now I think you may able to draw the plant cell structure as well as the animal cell structure. Next slide, animal cell structure is there, and in this slide, plant cell structure is given. Okay, so you have to draw, you have to practice and draw it also. A very simplified diagram I have managed to serve for you. Okay, cell membrane, cell wall is there. So first of all, outermost covering, cell wall. Then inner to the cell wall is a cell membrane. Then cytoplasm matrix is there. Then big large vacuole is present in the center. Because of this large big vacuole, nucleus is shifted towards the one side. Okay, nucleus is there. Inside the nucleus, dense rounded body, nucleolus is present. And Golgi bodies and mitochondria is also shown in this thing, in this diagram. You can draw. It's up to you. If you want to draw, you draw, or if you want to leave, you can leave it also, because it is not in your syllabus. But it will be better if you practice this diagram. And chloroplast, the most important thing, that will signify that it is the plant cell, that is the presence of chloroplast. By the presence of chloroplast in the cell, we may tell that this cell is a plant cell. How you will identify that this is a plant or this is an animal cell? By looking at the chloroplast, because chloroplast is present only and only in the plant cell. Okay. Now, next one, next slide, that is the animal cell structure. Again, a very simple diagram I have managed to search for you. Cell membrane is there, no cell wall is there, as it is an animal cell structure. Cytoplasm, this all you have to practice by drawing it. Okay. Then nucleus is center, nucleus present in the center, rounded body. Nucleolus is in the inside the nucleus. Nuclear membrane is shown also. See, vacuoles are very small in this animal cell structure, and various this thing, cell organelles are also shown. Okay, Golgi bodies, mitochondria, ribosomes, centrosomes, lysosomes. Rough endoplasmic ER means endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth ER means endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum means endoplasmic reticulum studded with the ribosomes. Smooth, that is without ribosomes. But it is, as this is not in your syllabus, so we have not done over here, but for the practice of the diagram you can draw. If you want, you can label all these cell organelles also, and if you don't, if you're not comfortable in drawing these cell organelles, then you may skip also. But the and basic main part you should draw and practice, that is cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. Okay, all this you have to draw and practice, because this also sometimes comes for the labeling as well as for drawing also. Okay, now one very important process in the cell, important process of the cell, but it is not given in very detail in your syllabus. Only a small paragraph is given. What is a cell division? Okay, cell division, first of all, you must know that it is a process by which the parent cell divides into daughter cells. Okay, by which the cell grows. Okay, because in the cell theory, you remember what Rudolf Virchow has told, that all cells arises from the pre-existing cell. So from where these cells are coming? By the division of the cell. When the cell is dividing, a new cell is coming. So what dividing means cell division. So whenever a cell is dividing, means a parent cells multiplying or dividing into a number of daughter cells. Okay, progeny, that is called as a cell division. But what is the need for this? Why cell division is occurring in this cell? Yes, it is a very important process, because for the replacement of the old cell, at some places old cells has to be replaced with the new one. Repairing of the cell, if the cell is worn out, it's dying, then a repair can also be done. Reproduction, that means production of the new cells, production of the new tissues, etc. And growth, when the cell is growing, then also we need the process of the cell division. So cell division is the necessity, it's a very important process, is a necessity for the existence of all living organisms, including the plant. That means both plant and animal cells, both are dividing. Both are growing, both are reproducing, both are replacing their old cells, both are repairing their worn out cells. So cell division is a process occurring both in the plant as well as in the animal cell. Whenever a child grows into an adult, or a small seedling or a small baby plant grows into a big plant, so which process is going on? Basically, this is the cell division. Whenever our body is growing, that means the cell division is taking place. Whenever we hurt ourselves, a new layer of the skin comes out after a few days. That means cell is dividing over there. Cell division is taking place. Okay, see this one. It's a small definition of the cell division. It's a process by which a parent cell divides into two or more daughter cells. Daughter doesn't means over here that daughter and son. Daughter cells, it is usually said in the biological term, in the scientific terms. Okay, whenever a parent cell is dividing into new cells, it is called as a daughter cells. Okay, so whenever cell division is taking place, parent cell, first of all, DNA replicates. I think you must have revised your previous lecture, the nucleus one video, where DNA was explained to you. Cell, inside the cell is present the nucleus. Inside the nucleus is present the chromatin, and chromatin material or the chromatin network at the time of the cell division, it condensed, it untangled itself to form the chromosomes. And chromosome is basically made up of a genetic material that is called as a DNA. So whenever the cell is processing itself for the cell division, first of all, DNA will replicate, DNA will means gather inside the cell, and then it will divide into two daughter cells. Then again these two daughter cells will divide into four daughter cells, 4 into 8, 16, whatever. Okay, so this is a cell division. This only you have to uh, remember that what is the cell. Okay, now after this one slide is coming, in which I have shown you a small demonstration, a small activity through which you will be able to understand or visualize or imagine that how a cell looks like. Because class 6th grade student, it's very tough for us also to make you visualize, to make you imagine that how the cell is arranged, how the cell looks like. So a small demonstration is done by me, a small activity. I hope by this activity now it will be easy for you to visualize how a cell is. So next slide will be your activity. A small video is inserted in that slide in which I have shown one activity.
Hello students, today I am going to show you a small activity, or basically I am going to demonstrate you through which you can imagine or visualize that how a cell look like, or what is an arrangement of cell. Okay, for this activity, whatever I had with me at home, I've arranged that thing only. So I prepared one starch solution. This I prepared from the corn flour. Mixed corn flour is mixed in the warm lukewarm water. So this, you can imagine it as a cytoplasm. Okay, this is how a cytoplasm look like. Okay, semi-fluid, semi-liquid, viscous, jelly-like fluid is a cytoplasm. Okay, so this will be our cytoplasm. Viscous, jelly-like, semi-liquid, fluid cytoplasm. And one zip pouch I've arranged. So this will be our cell membrane. Okay, you have to imagine it as a cell membrane. And something more like this toffee. Okay, this will be our chloroplast, green color chloroplast. Okay, and chromoplast. This will be our nucleus. Okay, and this can be as a mitochondria, lysosome, whatever cell organelle we have inside the cytoplasm. All this will be our cell organelle. Okay, so now how the cell is arranged, what is the arrangement of the cell, you can visualize it as like this. Okay, now we are going to pour this starch solution, corn flour solution inside this zip pouch. Okay, so this is our cell membrane, and this corn flour solution serving as a cytoplasm over here in this activity. So cytoplasm inside the cell membrane. Okay, so cytoplasm inside the cell membrane. Cytoplasm again, that viscous jelly like semi liquid. Okay, cytoplasm. Now inside the cytoplasm are the various cell organelles. Okay, so various cell organelles, most important one is the nucleus. So nucleus inside the cytoplasm. Okay, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes. Okay, and chloroplast, plastids. Okay, chromoplast, leucoplast, ribosomes, various cell organelles inside the cytoplasm. So all things inside the cytoplasm, all the cell organelles inside the cytoplasm, and now we can ziplock this pouch. Okay, so this means this is the cell membrane, semi-permeable, selectively permeable membrane. So nothing can go inside this thing and nothing can come inside this. Okay, so this how the cell look like. You can imagine it like this only. Okay, you can imagine it as a cell membrane, cytoplasm inside the cell membrane, and the various cell organelles, nucleus, mitochondria, vacuole, plastids, chloroplast. Okay, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, various cell organelle inside the cell membrane. And this is how a cell look like. And now if you put all this thing inside one box, okay, I'm putting this whole pouch inside this thing, then can you tell what is this? This is our cell wall, which is present only in the plant cell. Okay, this is our cell wall. Okay, so cell wall is an outer membrane, outer wall of the plant cell. Then inside is the cell membrane, and inside the cell membrane is the cytoplasm. This white, this colorless, transparent, viscous, jelly-like, semi-liquid fluid is a cytoplasm, and various cell organelles are present inside it. Okay, if you can see, various cell organelles are inside it. Okay, all these toffees, imagine it as a cell organelle. So how the cell look like, or how the cell is arranged, the arrangement of the cell, I think you can imagine it through this activity. Okay, thank you everyone.
Okay, now it's time to end our lecture over here. And I think the whole chapter is completed. Okay, thank you everyone. And plus, but my humble request to you all that please keep on revising the chapter, whatever we have taught you in these videos. Please keep on revising them. Stay at home, stay safe. And one assignment sheet also I will upload, which you can practice and do. Okay, thank you everyone.